Welcome everyone to another one shot on this channel here, and I decided along with doing full series I wanted to do a few one shots for works that I don't want to play through because I think that ruins the experience, but I still wanted to show them off and hopefully get people more interested in this stuff. So today we'll be looking at Elegy of a Dead World, which is a very interesting game based around writing, as you'll soon find out. Hang on just a sec here, I need to do a sync test. Right, left, right, left, right, left, up. Okay, let's continue on. I need to do the sync test early or at the end, or else it's impossible to find in editing, and that's never good. Okay, we're gonna enter this area here, and let's see. Let's start writing. So this game is sort of more like a program. The idea is that you are given, think of it like Mad Libs. You're given a prompt of some sort, and then you have to write and come up with your own story from what you're given. Let's see. Here we have a choice of freeform writing, like slate, no writing prompt, write anything anywhere. Okay. Ah, dang it. I guess we're doing the grammar one. No, hang on. Let's exit back to portals. It's weird. It takes a while for it to load. Okay, start writing. Let's see, what's the grammar workshop? This is a grammar exercise for English language students. Edit the sentences so they grammatically connect. 4 ages of Brian's world. Ooh. The colonists spent generations underground, moving from place to place. You tell the story of why they could never find peace. So yeah, this is basically a game designed to teach English and to teach writing, which I'm all about. I am actually consider myself a bit of a writer, but I'm more non-fiction than fiction. I found I like how I can capture a character voice in first person, but I want to write in third person, and that is much more difficult for me. Oh boy. Writing a novel or a story and writing a script is very different. In a novel, you don't have to explain every action, you just have to give the feeling of action to the audience. And through language, and that is something I still struggle with. Let's see. This vacation is terrible. You went to Byron's world last year and it was so bad. The sand was too dry and they should really clean up the corpses. I don't get it. Let's do the 4 ages of Brian's world. Sections 15. There are 15 sections. The word count is 179. Sounds good. So yeah, if I remember correctly, there are about 3 worlds in this game that you can explore. And at certain points, you can find objects in the environment that you can then use as prompts for writing. I like the use of visuals in this game because it gives you some sort of scene that you can sort of bounce off of. They say everything comes to an end. Here in the Sen, their first colony. Jubilee. I like that. Oh. Okay. Did that record? Let's find out. It did. Okay. Let's go on to the next writing prompt. I think I can just keep writing. It's interesting. The settlers of Byron's world formed their settlement far below ground, initially because... What could cause devastation in a place like this? Let's go with sandworms. See if I can do something with that. Wonder is there? Oh, I can do that. Speeds things up. We can go up here. Let's go in. Now we have this little library with a missing bookshelf. They brought things from Earth that reflected their values. They were a people who blank but never blank. Oh, this is very interesting. Excuse me. So what the game is doing here is using a particular writing exercise where you're given a prompt with missing parts in the script, and then you can fill it out and create your own story with added details. That's neat. Let's see here. There are people who blank but never blank. I know. Sought knowledge, but never fought. Let's go with that. I wonder if this has a spell check, because I might need that. I'm a writer, but damn, spelling doesn't get me every time. That's mostly because English is bullshit. All that's left of the first settlement of Byron's world. Their biggest mistake? Let's go with... Yeah, it's right after that, so it's capitalized. Let's keep going. Looks like all these worlds are named after a different writer. That's interesting. I wonder if you can mess around with their prose. Maybe that's what's happening here. I'm not that familiar with Byron. Moving closer to the surface, they started a new society with blank and the dedication to blank. Okay. Some with farming technology. Rebuild. Yay! Jump, jump. The blank and blank reflect this new generation. That is a weird sound. Okay, let's see. What's going on with that voice there? That's weird. Let's go with golden corn and full field sounds a little too much. Massive field, let's go with that. Sure, in a moment I'll get a chance to describe what happened to all the farm stuff I came up with. If you listen closely, you can hear blank. They say it's... a woman moaning. Let's see. Oh, that's what that voice was for. It was part of this prompt. That's interesting. It's constantly trying to get you to... it's using the environment to get your juices flowing. That's cool. Wish I was a bit more creative in my description, but oh well. Let's see. Listen close, you can hear a woman moaning. Say it's... Let's go morbid. Up we go. Can I press up? Oh no, I gotta go tab for that. The third settlement began as blank, built to oppose blank. Let's make this settlement one that ended up going violent. The roving sandworms. So how do you spell roving? Oh well, that's fine. I think I can also check out what other people have written, so I might do that in a moment. I want to see what kind of stuff is out there. Because this doesn't seem like the sort of game that would attract your normal gamer idiot. Okay, the opposition. Okay, that opposition more evident here. Where? Let's see. Into red desert sand. I like that. Okay, let's get out of this room and go on to the next thing. Nope. I accidentally pressed up when I wasn't supposed to. Oh, this is something new. Cool. What the fuck is this thing? But everything comes to an end. I like that. Worms destroy the ground under their towering structures. Because there's a lot of ground missing here. That would make some sense. This is cool. I've never actually played this one before, but I've had it in my library since 2016. I've just never... I originally wanted to pitch this one for a Hardcore Gaming 101 article, but they passed it over, which is understandable. A lot of the indie stuff that's been covered there hasn't done as well in numbers as retro stuff, so I'm trying to look more into old series now. Stuff that got passed over in the PS3 era and past that. I'm already starting looking at pretty much everything Suda51 ever did, and that's pretty cool. Let's see. The fourth settlement must have blank for ages before blank. I'm gonna say died out, because this doesn't look like a place that has life. Died out before. The ice thawed out. It's the fourth, so I don't want to say it came after the third. I mean, came before the third, I meant. I'm a little too literal with my fiction writing, I find. I want to do stuff where I can convey emotion and ideas instead of just actions, but that's not how my brain's wired to work, apparently. Gotta keep working on it. Snowman was a stark contrast to Desolate. Desolate's no. The dark sun in the distance. Covered in a common glow. This is the type of... If it wasn't for all the snow, I'd probably like living in a place like this. I'm not a fan of sunny weather, to put it lightly. But must everything come to an end? Come to an end? A device used for... It's used for signaling others. The cosmos. Yeah, I think that has a bit more kick to it than just space. When activated, it would... hopefully to provide assistance. And what is the last prompt? Oh, this is cool. Did I miss a prompt? There it is. Hmm. They ended up leaving, I'm gonna say. And back to space we go. Let's read a preview. Oh, you can even change the title and do some editing here. Okay, they say everything comes to an end. Here in the sand, their first colony, Jubilee. Settlers of Byron's world formed their settlement far below ground, initially because of the horrid sandworms. They brought things to Earth that reflected their values. They were a people who sought knowledge but never fought. All that's left of the first settlement. This is all that's left of the first settlement of Byron's world. Their biggest mistake: hubris. Moving closer to the surface, they started anew. A new society with farming technology and dedication to rebuild. The golden corn and massive fields reflected this new generation. If you listen closely here, you can hear a woman moaning. They say it's a lost settler's death cries. Third settlement began as a fortress built to oppose the roving sandworms. Opposition more evident here, where entire colonies were blown apart into the red desert sand. But everything comes to an end. They vanquished as the worms destroyed the ground under their towering structures. The fourth settlement must have died out ages before the ice thawed out. The snowman was a stark contrast to the desolate snow fields with the dark... Actually, I want to edit that. I'll edit that in a second. Okay, proceed to edit. Come close to thawing. There we go. And I have to go fly back all the way to the end? That kind of stinks. But oh well. It's a pretty landscape anyways. This game has such a cool art style to it, and it fits what they're trying to do really well. Big fan of it. Wait, is that Stargate? Huh. Let's get a title going for this. Oh, I suck at titles. Okay, edit title. Let's see what to call this. Let's just go with something simple. It's usually what I do. And we'll publish it. Yeah, publish it. This is interesting. I wonder if I can... Okay, I don't need to. Let's read someone else's work. Written by Kendrick. I was once here before the scorching. I remember the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the rain. I remember fish. I remember going outside for fresh air. Outside for fresh air. Imagine that. Air-conditioned air has a smell. It's always the same. Outside, the scents were random, fresh, natural. For a while, I came of age near the end, when everything began to smell like trash, exhaust, and urine. You know, it was my home, my apartment. I shared it with 3 roommates. We tolerated each other. There was no space to do otherwise. We could not afford our own homes. When I was a child, I lived in a house with windows we could open. I had my own room. We had chairs outside. There were times when we could sit on them without being burned. Oh, I see. He just ignored the prompts and did his own thing based on the imagery. I like this. Maybe this is from a different segment? This is where I learned about budgeting. Time, energy, finances, and in the end, food. Space is always at a premium for those who rent. I remember arguments about space. Sharing space is the hell of the introvert. I know that feeling. After 6 months, I decided to sell my bookcase so I could have a spot to sit out. I decided to sell my bookcase so I would have a spot to sit out from the way. I had digital copies of all my books and music by then. It wasn't so bad. I didn't have a spot for my elf sculpture anymore, but I could share space with it on the floor. I remember having pets. Before, when it comes down to give up your cat or give up your home, the solution becomes simple. Agonizing but simple. Outside was death. I'm sorry, sunshine. Your forever home was supposed to be my forever home too, but they took it away when I couldn't pay anymore. I couldn't give you something I didn't have. Oh, this is blank. This was our energy meter. Okay. I see what he's going for. Basically some depressing living in space sci-fi. I like it. Yeah, I liked it. I'll give him the thumbs up. It's actually the portals. And that is basically how this game works. You can go to there are 2 other planets, but they all act as a way to get you to think about your writing, which is neat. Let's see if there are any other modes in these worlds. More grammar workshops. Oh, this is based on Ozymandias, Percy Shelley. That's cool. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I really recommend this game if you like writing a lot. This isn't going to be something I think a lot of you are going to be that interested in, but I think it's something more than a few people will be interested in, and it looks like this game has a pretty solid community and a pretty solid player base that isn't just obnoxious edgelords honking on about anime boobs. So yeah,